Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a really splendid new disc of William Walton orchestral goodies. It's always wonderful to get new Walton discs because he was such a craftsman. He was just such a wonderfully polished composer, and all of his music is worth hearing, more or less. And this one is on Chandos, which seems to be the only label around that likes doing Walton. It's kind of strange, actually, because they have the complete Walton. And so here's more complete Walton. But that's okay, because it's a very, very fine disc. It features, let's see what we've got here. John Wilson with the Sinfonia of London, sounding oh so much better than they do in those awful discs of blockbuster repertoire that they really have no business doing. And Charlie Lovell-Jones is the violinist in Walton's Violin Concerto. Now, I haven't listened to the Violin Concerto in quite a while. It's really such a good work. It deserves to get played so much more than it does get played, and recorded too, I might add, by other than English violinists. That would really be nice. Remember, it was written for Jascha Heifetz, who recorded it a couple of times. And it's wonderful. It's been such a long time since I've heard it, and listening to it was just wonderful. This is a very fine performance. Charlie Lovell-Jones is a terrific violinist. He really is. And here, they've gotten the recording right. The balances are really beautiful. He's in the orchestra. He's not in your face, but he has enough tone, a fulsome timbre, that allows him to stand out against the orchestra very, very well. It's a beautifully integrated performance. And gosh, he's got the chops for it. I mean, the virtuosic central tarantella scherzo type thing is really, really exciting. The finale has the finale. It's an interesting piece because the finale sort of takes a step back from the scherzo. It goes slow, really, really fast, not quite as fast. Those are how the movements operate. And the finale is very fulfilling. I just love this performance. It was, the orchestra sounds terrific. Wilson is with him every step of the way. It's really, really fine. I was very, very pleased. So there's that. Then there's, let's see, the Portsmouth Point Overture. I don't know about Portsmouth Point. I used to like it. Now it just seems to be a piece of mindless noise. That's me. I mean, it's colorful. It's exciting. It's just all hustle and bustle and sort of, emptiness. But that's okay. I mean, it was his first major work after Facade, and it's an fizzy overture type thing, and okay, it fizzes. It doesn't do anything for me now. But the Symphonic Suite from Troilus and Cressida, the opera, which never really quite worked, I think. I mean, it was a sad thing, the history of this particular opera. Wow, baby, what a gorgeous score it is. I mean, it's vintage Walton. It's first-class Walton, and Christopher Palmer has arranged it into a 28-minute-long four-movement symphony, effectively. And it works wonderfully well. It ought to be a standard concert suite. It really should. It should be at least as popular as, like, the 4C interludes from you-know-who's opera, Peter Grimes. Britten and Walton had a rivalry, and they didn't really get on. They were both whiny and jealous, basically. But it sounds wonderful. It's marvelously played. It's beautifully recorded. I really, Chandos has the complete opera, let me put it to you that way, and in its original version for dramatic soprano. And I never much cotton to the opera either. For some reason, I just find the vocal writing distracting. And you don't listen as much to all the wonderful instrumental stuff that Walton put into it, because he's such a great symphonic composer, and his orchestration is delicious, and his sense of rhythm and color is wonderful, and his craftsmanship, as I said before, is just immaculate. And so I would much rather hear it without the voices, frankly. Maybe at some point the opera will strike me, and I'll really get into it. I've got to listen to it 100 or 2 more times, I think, before I finally adapt to its particular virtues. But here we have nothing but virtues. 4 movements of virtues, extremely well played. I just love this disc. I really did. It was such a refreshing thing after a long time away to get back into Walton's first-class orchestral music, at least the Violin Concerto and the Troilus and Cressida music. And Portsmouth Point is sort of the finale. It rings down the curtain with a bang, and I have no complaints whatsoever about that. It's a good thing. So yeah, I mean, try this. You'll really, really enjoy it. I understand that Chandos has all of this already. You know, I mean, the Troilus and Cressida stuff, Bryden Thompson recorded it originally quite well. And so they're doing it again. And now it's an SACD if you care. I don't particularly. But I've always said, you know, a really great record is its own justification. And this is a really great record. Everyone's at the top of their game. And I'm happy to be able to say so and to recommend it to you accordingly. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.